I think the main experience and thought from day one was to not lead the process as though it's a design process, but to treat it as though it's an artistic process. I started working on Formation 01 and Formation 02 at the same time as working on my solo show at White Cube Bermondsey. So a lot of the gestural forms and shapes and concaves and the abstract elements were really etched out by hand using ink, charcoal, chalk and clay. It was also less about thinking about where the product would be plumbed in, and it was more about the bigger questions surrounding the movement of water. I was thinking about Kohler's safe delivery of water. I was thinking about the magnitude and volume of water which is moving underneath our feet daily, which we often don't see or take account for. I was thinking about the safe delivery of Samuel solutions, but also the magnitude and power that water has to be totally formless, but also shape and erode as stone and mineral. And you start to see some of those influences come into Formation 02 in particular.
Samuel's living the ethos of Kohler in terms of we want to live on the leading edge of design. It's in our ethos as a company. And believe it or not, 150 years of working with the arts, working with leading designers. And I think for us, it's a very important activity to partner, not just collaborate, but to partner on this. And I know Samuel has worked very closely with a lot of the design team, a lot of our brand team to create this. And we learn just as much. And Samuel is taking us to a place where I don't think we could have gone ourselves.
It's a complete co-studio, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's exactly why. And I think that experimentation and value that Samuel brings, it's hard to even describe it. It's just we go to a new place, and that will help us in the future in terms of how we think and how we produce. And I can tell you, we're so inspired by everything in terms of creating brand experiences, products, thinking sustainability. When he talks about the importance of safe water delivery, all of these elements, and approaching it both from an artistic and design side, I think he's raising important dialogues and thinking. And this is a collaboration that it's hard to equate the actual value of what's in front of you, because it's so much into the future for us in terms of how we think.
The beauty of the partnership of the co-studio is that it's referencing, multiple generations of design's influence. You have, the canon of British sculptors from Henry Moore to Barbara Hepworth to Anthony Caro. You also have, mid-century use of color by way of German designer Joseph Albers. You also have the use of modernist design in the cityscapes we see in Paris, in London, in New York. It's also reference of industrial placement of color theory, how temporal, fleeting and optimistic emergent orange is in terms of global macro cityscapes. It's really a semblance of life experiences pulled from different cities and different environments, and it's about rifting and bringing those together to create newness. It's not about what's necessarily been unseen, it's also changing how we bring together and see these influences and how they can be used to reshape a language of sorts. I'm now maybe 10 to 12 years into my career in the arts as a whole, and I feel it takes at least a decade just to, get the fundamentals down and develop a little bit of a signature. And I'm at a place now where I'm thinking, what can my generation of artists and designers offer to the wider lexicon and canon of design in the arts? And I think what we should be offering are more risk-bearing, radical, lucid and liberating experiences with design, which is why this partnership with Kohler has been so enticing but so joyous, because it's radical thought, but it's also domain expertise from the global market leader. And when you can pull the two together, the engineering prowess, the tooling which is done on the side, the integration of both design teams, Kohler, the industrial prowess, SRA, the architects that work internally, you get magic from a co-studio, and it's such a rarity to be able to create.
every year there's an element of surprise that I think we've set the bar to bring people looking for this inspiration, this dialogue that will be created. So I hope the dialogue's intense. I hope there's a lot of passion around this. And I'm okay with a polarizing view with this. I think we need to create some tough conversations around some of the inherent topics that we're talking about here. So I think it's...
You raised that really well. Design and the arts are supposed to solicit emotion, right? And we're not after good or bad, we're after emotion, we're after response. And we want these objects to solicit attention and for people to acknowledge when they're engaging in it. And I think there's something really quite special about design as a superpower to evocation, but also functioning closeness.